All right. Hello, everybody. This is another Emacs ATX meetup. ATX stands for Austin, Texas, but it's no longer in Texas relevant. We have people from all over. I'm the only one right now on the panel that in Texas, but I'm not in Austin. So anyway, we have Karthik, John, and I didn't get your name. I'm sorry.
You could call it PFC. It's up to
Yeah,
you
okay.
how you
Yeah,
say that, how you pronounce that.
no worries. Right. John, do you want to jump in to Pi discussion right away?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, sounds good. Cool.
Let me share.
Yep.
Yep, that is good enough. All right. Let's see. Here we go. I have the local instance here running. It's Quinn 3.6
Nice.
running locally. And I'm using Pi here because it's low. It's very small, and I've just got a 1080 running it, and it can run it, but like the time to first token can be like maybe 2 minutes or so.
Wait, you using a package that works on top of Pi, or?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's exactly right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, he's got an Emacs package that does, I think, a really good job of connecting into Pi, and the Pi plugins or extensions or whatever, as long as they don't have UI components, if they're either text-based or something to do with adjusting the prompt, it should come across. I don't have any installed, but that's what the repo says.
Okay.
But like this is so like this is a previous session that I had. We're just scrolling through. He's got some nodes that just kind of help lay stuff out. So like I was trying to get SpookFox, which I was talking about a little bit earlier, which allows you to connect from Emacs into Firefox plugin and then run commands. So I wanted to use that along with a couple other things, like to combine them all.
John, if I may interrupt, could you
Sure.
increase your font size?
Yes. Sorry, I meant to look this up before I did that.
You using Doom?
I am, yes.
You can do Doom increase font size. It does, I believe, or maybe.
Yeah, please do increase
He can
font
also
size.
increase the global font scale, I think. Not font, but probably it's
Yeah, the
called
font
text
size
scale.
works on the frame, so increases
Oh,
everything, not
tile
just.
frames, you mean? Okay, that makes sense.
Sorry, what should I look for?
You had it right. It was do increase font size.
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
Could we go one size bigger?
Sure.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I had it generate this document. So like the overarching idea is to take SpookFox, defuddle, and there was a package that just came up on the r/Emacs that was a Chrome plugin that will use defuddle to turn a web page into an org file. And I was thinking I could do it all through Emacs. And so I was going to have my local AI generate some of this stuff for me. And this is what I was using to do that. Like I haven't gone through all of it, and it's really in a partial state, but it was a neat experiment to at least get this far. But It's got some good transient stuff here.
Mhm.
We can resume different ones, different parts of each session, and then if you fork, it will have a different, like this is the starting one, and then I forked it and got to here, forked it, got to there, and then some other things. And this is based off of each folder will keep a session. So if you load it in from a folder, um, it will keep them kind of isolated. I think that's kind of standard functionality.
Does it call like sub agents? I would like to see how at any point if the model starts like calling sub agents to do like and subtasks in a different context, and then it comes back.
Mhm.
I,
Pi doesn't support agent workflow
mm,
by default.
mhm.
There are plugins that do support it. I haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
And this claims that it will show extensions and let you do slash commands, but I don't have any um Pi extensions that would do anything like the agent workflow. Uh, so I don't have that set up to do that.
yep. Before Pi, you used something else, I suppose, right?
Not here, no.
Oh, not in Emacs. Okay, I just wonder if there are like differences. I like to try it and just to see
Uh-huh.
how different
At
will be
work,
the yeah.
yeah, at work I do use Claude Code, but I've got it's a lot quicker to respond because this is just running on a 1080 NVIDIA 1080, so it doesn't have you know too much power, but it has enough to run the model and
Yeah.
gives some decent results.
And for Cloud Code, you used the CLI tool. Just you run it in the terminal
Yes, mhm. Yeah,
outside of
on my work
Emacs.
machine I do. Yes, that's
Ah,
correct.
okay, okay. So have you seen like any significant differences in workloads? Something that you like, you don't like? What?
Yeah, I had an issue when I I had an issue with this where
With the package?
I yeah with the package, and let's see, when I would try and load into it, I would always get this no applicable method project root projectile dot directory
Mm.
name. And so I submitted a fix. He changed it a little bit and then fixed it and released that. And so now I'm able to load it just fine. Um, but it had to do with something with Projectile and not being able to figure out what the actual project root was. But this, it took a couple tries, but it ended up getting this as a change that would work.
We have
Um,
kind of proliferation of different coding assistants in Emacs. We have so many
mhm,
now, and they're good. Some of them are real good, but I'm invariably can't use anything else than like I mean like I've been using different ones. I've been trying that like specifically for coding, but GPTel still remains in my tool belt because it's so good. Just like for when
mhm,
I'm writing, when I'm doing research, when I just need like general kind of investigation of things, not like specifically code base related. That is really good. And I
Glad to
like that
hear
you
that.
can combine them, right? Like because GPTel is there, you can while I'm prompting I've been using ECA, and
mhm,
you can while I'm prompt something, I can talk to GPTel using a different model, even local one, and it's just so good in
mhm,
place in like in any buffer. That is just that's why like the reasons like that I just can't imagine. I've tried using uh, CLI tools outside of Emacs, especially for my colleagues. A bunch of them they're
mhm,
using Copilot now, Copilot CLI, and I had to do that and in Terminal, and I was like, ah, like
mhm.
small things that Some people say like it's not a big deal, but it adds up. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the things that it did is it generated the file here, but it didn't use the proper prefix. And so I guess this kind of goes into the next thing, if we want to talk about that, where I was able to use the search and then multi-cursor replace and then commit to all the changed files. And so that was kind of a neat discovery for me.
Yeah, it's nice.
So it would go space search, and I want to search the project for the thing under the cursor. So now I have all of them here. I can do Control C, E, or Control C, Control E.
Yeah.
And then highlight this, Shift R. All of them are now highlighted. New text.
I don't submit
And
that.
Do I now?
Don't submit that.
No.
Unless you want this change.
No, I don't. But like, but it just follows with the same normal thing of Control C to finish the edit, similar to like Magit and everything else that makes it easy to use. But that was a really powerful thing. It let me adjust all of these pretty quickly once I got that figured out, and so I was really happy with that.
Yeah, I use it a lot. It's one of the aha moments when I started using Embark, and I was like, wow, this is great. I mean, like this similar feature, the wgrep, vgrep, it existed for a long time. It existed in Helm, it exists in Ivy, and it moved to Consult with other things. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah. One of the things that I was noticing is I could use some help troubleshooting this, where the screen will it will pair if I do jump up and down on the screen. So like this.
Are you on Linux?
I am, yes. For some reason, it's not doing it right now.
Are you on Wayland?
No, I'm on X11 still. No.
Right. Have you tried? Karthik, remind me, what was the different render we had? What's the name of it?
PGTK, you mean? Lucid?
Yeah, Lucid. If
you can also compile it without a toolkit, by the way. That's what I do, actually.
Yeah, the way, I mean, like sometimes it tears and leaves artifacts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so, like, and then you have to
right here.
Like run redraw. What was it? Command redraw.
Yeah, redraw text
Display.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can see it here. So it goes 19, 20, come down, and then it's 11, 12, 13, 16, and then 35.
On Linux, I started using Lucid at some point, and I just stayed with it. It's never. I don't see. I don't remember having like artifacts after that. Maybe look into that. I think if I remember right, you have to build it with the flag.
Okay. Okay, I will give that a shot.
Yeah, and you will feel it will feel a lot more, a little bit faster than the previous one. At least like empirically, I felt like, oh, this is a lot snappier. I mean, Emacs on Linux actually, it's snappier than on Mac, and that's kind of it makes me sad because I need to use Mac for work right now. So it's just even with the metal flag that's on Mac, it's not as snappy as on Linux. But try Lucid and see.
Okay, yeah,
it will
I'll take a look at it.
Things. All right, David, hello, welcome. Just so you know, we're recording. And Welcome. Where are you joining from?
Virginia.
Virginia. Nice. Thanks for coming. All right. Anybody else wants to talk about something interesting? Show something? Questions? Karthik, I think, is not ready yet.
Ready with what?
for to show us something. You always like show us some interesting stuff.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if you don't have anything ready, I can talk about like some stuff I improved recently on my config.
I'm going to look through the last few commits to my config
Okay.
and see if there's anything interesting.
All right. Let me. Oh no, my browser says I need to. Oh, I may have to. I never shared the screen with Firefox here. Oh no. Let's see. No, don't. I don't want to reopen. I may have to rejoin. Oh, that's. Oh no, it actually worked. Okay. I'm gonna share.
I have something.
Okay. Yeah, you can share. I'll do it later. Okay.
Can you see a screen?
Yep.
Okay, let me start going bigger.
Yep. That would be nice.
You can tell me when it's big enough.
It's big enough for me. I don't know if everybody else is okay with that. I think it's good.
Good for me.
Okay. Also, do you want me to switch to a dark theme because the previous screen was dark?
Up to you.
Okay.
Fine the way it is.
Oh, never mind. All right, let's go with that. Yeah. So I changed something. I changed how I use GPTel recently
Oh, nice.
because the old interface was too much work for me. It had too much friction. So I can explain. Okay, maybe I can give you a demo and then explain what's going on. So the way I use GPTel now is I don't open a GPTel buffer. So let me cancel that. Right. There are increasingly the way that people use LLMs is to open some kind of client, either in a terminal or in their editor. Right. In their editor, it's going to be like a window or in Emacs a buffer. Which looks like a shell or an org file or something, but it's a place. It's a dedicated place where you go type out your question or your task, and then the agent does the question, does the task. And you can customize this. You can make it so that you can press one button and then that window pops up, and then you type in your query, and it goes away and so on. But at work, I at one point I had so many windows corresponding to like compilation buffers and like git status and like so many things to manage that I didn't want one more window, which was the coding agent. So what I did is I changed my interface to GPTel. So the way it works now is as follows: you can select a region or not, right? But in this case, let's select a region and then pull this up. It brings up a little thing, right? And I'm going to say, what are these files? Okay. And let me just send this. And when I send it, you see that
Oh, nice.
right? It didn't like open a buffer or whatever. It gave me this inline thing. This inline thing, I can now act on it. I can, if I want, or I can increase or decrease the height, which is irrelevant here because it's only 4 lines, right? But there are other things you can do. So I want to explain the model of what's going on here. The first thing, and it's going to take me like a minute. The first thing is that this is an overlay, right? And it shows up right where you are, so you don't have to leave the file. And if you want, you can continue the conversation from here. I can do reply, which is R. Can you see my mouse cursor?
Yep.
Okay, which is R. And so you can continue the conversation, and then it will just update the overlay, okay, which I am not going to do. But also you can move this around. Just with my mouse, I can drag it to other windows.
Wow. So it means, I mean, like you just did it within the DRED context. You can
do it
equally
anywhere.
do the same or similar thing in your commits window, right? On the
Yeah. You can
Wow.
do this anywhere.
That
Yeah,
is
you can do
cool.
this inside vterm, like for all you want, because you just need a buffer, right? So let me prove that point. So I'm going to pull up vterm. Wow, let's get bash, and there you go. Right? It's just an overlay. There's no right. There's you can just put it wherever you want. Okay, but now if I was to like select a second bunch of files and ask what is this, right? I don't want a standalone request. I still want the thing where the LLM has all the context of my previous questions.
Okay.
Right? So I want this to be backed by a session. So let's do that. Right. So let me clear this. I got rid of that overlay, and now I'm going to select. I don't know. So let's actually ask a follow-up question and not select any region. So I'm just going to say, bring this up without selecting anything and say, are there any other Git related state files in a Git repo? Now, this question does not make sense without the context of the previous answer, right? So I just call this and I'm going to send it, and it says beyond the 3 listed above, Git repo also contains. So clearly it has the context from the previous question, right? So the reason is that underneath the hood, this is just GPTel. The only thing that's changed is the interface. So if I act on this overlay, you'll see there's an option to visit. So let's visit, and you'll see that there is an actual GPTel buffer.
Oh, nice.
Right.
So
and
like,
all you're doing,
so how do you like? It means like I assume that you can actually work with multiple GPTel sessions.
Did you say can or can't?
Can you?
Yes, of course you can.
All right.
So
Wow.
okay, so let me. Sorry, so there was something else going on here. Let me get rid of all of that. Okay. So now you can see that our first question is here, right? And then our second question. Let's visit that again. And sorry. Okay, and the second question is answered down here. So there is a GPTel session. It's just that the way of interacting with it does not involve switching to that buffer. Okay. So now I also want to see if I can. I can also reduce or increase the size of the response, as in the overlay. And you can also scroll.
Okay.
Right, you can scroll the overlay to see more if you want. So then let me move that out of the way. So the next question was, can you interact with multiple GPTel sessions? And the answer is yes. So let me bring this up, and you'll see it's ready in. Right. So this corresponds to the thing there, and you can switch. So you can switch and pick any GPTel session. Right.
This is nice.
And once you switch, so right now it is in the GPTel session for my.emacs.d because that's the folder that we are in. So I have a set of rules according to which it creates or picks the session that it should append to and take the context from. But you don't have to. But that rule is just a hook, so you can write your own function to determine which GPTel session, which LLM interaction you want to continue from here. But let's just say I'm going to make this test, right? So it's going to create a new GPTel session. So this is fresh. And I can ask a question, and for good measure, I can give it like some tools and say, what is this repo, right? And it's running some tools, and the tool calls are not shown here, but you can see it says this is a personal.emacs, right? And now let me move that out of the way too. And now if I bring up the window, you can see it has remembered that I picked test, right? So you can set it once in a buffer, and then all subsequent interactions will be with the same thing. And if you don't set anything, then it will create one for the project, and then it will just append to that. Okay. All right. So let me open. I don't know what is in this. Okay, this is just some random file with some settings. I'm going to bring this up, and it remembered that it was test,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's what we want. So I can ask, what is this? What are these settings? Okay, but right now it doesn't know what I'm talking about. So you want to like add some context. And the way that we were doing it in the beginning is we were selecting a region,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you don't have to do that. You can say, what are these settings? You can see there's an option, it says Control C space, including none. You can cycle through things to select. So it includes the current line, which is a blank line, or the contents of the window, or the contents of the buffer, right?
Oh, nice.
So you can cycle through the thing you want to include as
Oh,
context. Now this is a bit limited because that's not a fanciful file. Let's just open none. Okay. And let's try it here. What is this block of code for? And you can see it can
uh-huh.
include define, line, window. Window is just whatever you see in the window.
Is it? It's similar to Embark targets.
I guess, yeah. And you can specify the targets you want. So, for example, I don't know if there are. Oh, there is one. There is one URL here. Where is the URL? Okay, here. So if your cursor is here and you say, what is this URL? Okay, it recognized it as an S expression, but I guess it doesn't do URLs in code files. But you can add a target. Yeah, you can add whatever targets you want and cycle through them. I'm just pressing space to cycle through all the possible things. So let me pick defun, which in this case is the use package block, and ask, what is this block of code for, right? And send it. And this is in the test buffer. Yeah. So this is an Embark action to send URLs to a self-hosted queue service at my website.
Nice. Is this
right?
Is this? Oh, like keep going. I got too excited.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. So let me. I can show you the code in a second, but I wanted to see if there are any other actions. Yeah. So you can visit the buffer. So when you press V, this is the session, and it is just a GPTel session, and you can continue typing here, right? Yeah. The only thing that changed is the window. The window into this session does not involve visiting this session. That's the idea. So I don't have to worry about like managing this window or whatever. I just have this overlay, right? And I can continue. Like you can say reply to continue the conversation and say, what is this service exactly? Can you tell? And let's give it some web tools so it can search the web or try to visit the URL. It's not going to work because this thing is URL is guarded. But it's just replying. Yeah, it's calling web search. It's a listen later for audio on the web service. Right? So self-hosted, blah, blah, blah.
this is really
Right?
nice.
And you can go there and you can see that it was appended to this session.
This is amazing.
And so in this, and when you are in the session, it's assumed that you just wanted to check out the session. So there's a transient map to press Control G to return, as it says at the bottom. So you're back if you just press Control G. So that's to like quickly see what is in this buffer, and I'm done. And Control G, and I'm back here. Okay. So that was. So I showed you visit. I showed you reply. C, which just clears the overlay. W just copies this response into the kill ring and then increase and decrease the height of the overlay, or just quit. And yes, you can move the overlay around. And I think that's everything you can do with it. Let me.
So to move it around, you just grab it.
I click and drag. Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder, for this to work in terminal, you need Emacs the post frames in terminal added in 30 or 31. I forgot. I think
No, you don't need anything. No, it works. It will work as far back as Emacs 22. You just need.
Oh wait, this is not a post frame.
It's not a post frame. I don't like post frames because they cover the text, so I
Yes,
can't see the text under. So
yeah,
that's
this
why
is
we made it an
overlay.
overlay,
Yeah, that is nice.
right? So this is just an overlay, and you can see it doesn't cover any of the text,
Yes. Yeah, this is sick.
right?
So
And
is this experimental? Is this
sorry,
part of?
sorry, Ag.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just remembered that there are a few more things you can do. Like the cursor can't enter the overlay, right? Because it's not actual text. But you can but even though my cursor is down here, right, I can still scroll the response. So there are just key bindings to scroll the response, right? And scrolling the response. Let's actually make it slightly bigger. And I can also page the response. So I'm doing page up and page down inside the overlay from outside, right? So those things are bound to. It's probably that. Yes. So you know the binding for scroll other window, Control Alt D. So that gets rebound to scrolling the overlay, like paging the overlay, right? Okay. Now that was the basic use of this feature, which is currently unnamed. Maybe GPTel inline. That's what I'm going to end up calling it. But now I can show some more advanced uses, right? So let's grab this and bring this up. So it's including the region. By the way, even though it says including region, we can still cycle through all the targets. So back to region, and so I'm going to say this is a piece of Embark configuration, and I'm not going to send it. Instead, let me pull up this help window, right? Instead, so these are all the actions available in this prompt composition window. So some of these are to send the response, to cycle the targets for inclusion. But you see there's a key binding for append prompt, right, and quit. So that's what I'm going to do. So instead of sending, right, I'm just going to do Control C, Control A. So nothing, it looks like nothing happened, right? Let's grab this and say, and this is another piece. What did I do? Okay. I did append again, right? So nothing's happening. And the reason nothing's happening is because if we switch to that, it's called test. If we switch here, you'll see that it added these prompts to the buffer without sending it. Right? So if you want to build up a question, a prompt that involves, many different pieces of information, you don't have to, you can do this piece by piece, and you can add references, right? And then send it at any point. So let's go back. So
so you can collect the things to act on, boom, 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 and then at the end, like you can.
At the end, in fact, if you remember in the last prompt, I said, what do these do, right? So the question has already been asked. So I'm going to bring up this window, and I'm not even going to type anything. I'm going to leave it blank and just call it, and it's going to respond.
Wow.
Right? The reason is that those were appended. Those questions and the references were appended before.
Nice. So I noticed that the session buffer we call test, and the smaller window, it appears that it seems like you're cloning an indirect buffer that is tied to that buffer. Is that this?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, this is awesome. Is this available anywhere? As soon as I talk about this, like people start talking, start asking, like, can we use this?
It's currently in my config, and I'll tell you why. There is one bug that I need to fix. It's a UI bug, not a GPTel bug.
Okay.
But it's a real pain to try to fix it. So here's the issue. So you can see I'm scrolling, right? Or rather, I'm paging the overlay, right, with Control Alt V, right? And similarly, if I press Control Alt M, which is the same as meta return is interpreted as Control Alt M. It gives me the menu where I can decide what to do, right? So these are key bindings that are active no matter where the cursor is, right? So you can see how this is undesirable. Like, what if I want to scroll the magic log window on the right? If I press Control Alt V, it scrolls the it scrolls this overlay instead, right? So I have two options. Option one is like define a key map. It is customizable already, but define a key map and leave it to the user to bind keys for acting on this overlay that don't interfere with any of their existing key bindings. That's option 1, right? So now it's up to the user. Option 2 is what I'm currently doing, which is to do what I think is a clever remapping of concepts like Control-Alt-V, or let's just say scroll other window, which scrolls the other window. It's a perfect fit to remap that to scrolling the overlay, because the overlay is like a window inserted in between, right? So when you scroll Control-Alt-V, it scrolls this window. Maybe let's do keycast.
Is there a mode that is active when overlay is on?
Yes, there is a mode, but it's a lot trickier than that. Now, if I scroll until the overlay is out of view, and now I do Control-Alt-V, you'll see it scrolls
Okay.
the magic, right? So this behavior, where if the overlay is visible on the screen, it scrolls the overlay, and then if the overlay is not visible, it scrolls the other window like it should, right? And this is the same for all the key bindings, right? That dynamic behavior is very useful, right? But it's very buggy. Because you can't do this with a minor mode. You need, I mean, you can do anything with a minor mode, but the point is you can't do this with just a minor mode. You also need to use a bunch of hooks like window state, window scroll functions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have to iron those out for a more polished experience. And I think that's, there were so many little edge cases there that I got fed up and I just stopped, and that kept me from publishing it. The
I
second
also
thing is,
think that's very messy. It's not a good thing to tinker on.
oh yeah.
I think you can do if you, I don't know, if you don't work like that, just bring the cursor onto the overlay, or point +1, -1, up to you. Then to enable the key map, your local overlay key map.
Yeah, no, that's a much worse solution, I think. That's what I had initially, because that's how
I know that's
work. Yeah, that's terrible, because like if I'm down here, I don't want to scroll up to, and then it's not clear like what the bounds of the overlay are, right? So does the overlay start here, or does it start at the end of the line, right? Does it end here? Like there's no indication about where the cursor needs to be to activate the key map, right? So the more intuitive solution, assuming it works, is just it doesn't matter where your cursor is in this buffer. Wherever you are, you can scroll this over, right? Or page.
Let me ask you, can you, is it possible to enable the line numbers? In the overlay, I mean.
Oh, in the overlay. Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible.
But,
okay.
Yeah. Why?
No, I'm just thinking like hypothetically what could go wrong here. But I mean like it doesn't matter. I would immediately. This is immediately useful for me personally, because so many times I would just. I love GPTel because it's not bound to a specific buffer unless you want it to be bound to a specific buffer. I can just send, like, I use GPTel send. At any time, it, like, I could be like typing a message to like my colleague, and just in that buffer, I would have a question, but there's no continuation. I can just like continue this easily, this conversation. It just happens in that buffer. But this would be like immediately useful for my use cases, and I love it.
Okay.
I can't
Yeah,
wait for this to.
this is how I use GPTel like 95% of the time now. I never actually open the GPTel buffer.
Yeah.
Even for agentic things, right? So even to like fix bugs or do whatever in code, like wherever I think there is an issue, I just select it. So there is no issue here, but maybe let's open YouTube. Which is, sorry, this is just some random ELS repo. Yeah,
random.
so I can do something like there's a bug where this function errors or early returns when creating an entry for a fake or pseudo RSS feed generated from a random YouTube video, right? Find the issue, and then I'll give it turn on agent mode. Let's say turn on planning, right? And I can just send this, and it's going to do like a whole thing, right? But I don't have to look at it while it's plugging away.
Yeah, nice.
And then it will just give me the result here when it's done. Wait, there's something else. Oh yeah, I probably want to include agents. Yeah, so GPTel does not by default include the agents.md, right? So I just add it at the top of the conversation. Yeah, so I can just send this and it will just plug away like right here. So let me send it, and then I don't have to. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm free to close this overlay because all the action is happening in the buffer, right? So I'm going to visit the buffer, right? And it's doing its thing here. This is the GPTel buffer. So I don't really need to keep the overlay around.
Yeah.
I fired off the request, but I can, and then the results will appear here. Or if I want, I can abort from here. Okay. I aborted it because this is a bug I actually fixed, or rather, I think Gemini identified, and then I fixed. Is it? Yeah, this request is done. Okay, so now let me show you the code. It's currently called GPTel follow because you can follow along. I don't know. I had some idea. It's a bad name. I think GPTel inline is what I'm going to end up calling it. And so a couple of things you asked, Ag. One was, how does it decide which GPTel buffer, like which conversation, or the conversation in which buffer to continue here, right? And it does that using a hook. So if you have initiated a GPTel, I'm going to call it GPTel follow for today, but that's not the permanent name. If you have initiated GPTel follow before, then whatever buffer you used last time is picked. This you can ignore for now. Otherwise, it creates or reuses a GPTel buffer for this project. That's the thing. I mean, that's the current setup, or that's the default setup. But this is just a hook, right? So you can add whatever thing you want, like whatever decision logic you want to pick the right GPTel buffer. Like if you always wanted it to have one global GPTel session that all requests should be directed to and accumulate context in for your Emacs session, you can do that, right? And then the second question was the references. You liken them to Embark targets, and yes, it is like that. So the way it works is that for any major node, you can specify a list of things at point that you want to cycle through. So in prog mode, it cycles through the function, S expression, which can also be, like a thing inside string quotes, right? A line, window, and buffer. And then for text mode, it's URL, line, sentence, paragraph, window, page, buffer. You can just add to this, right? You can add to this. This is a def custom. You can add to it. Org mode is a little special. In org mode, yes, you do have window and buffer. But because org mode has a parser, you can also do paragraphs, sections, headlines. So let me open README. What? Oh, I see. That README is empty. Let's open this README. And let me call a list somewhere. Okay, there's a list. Okay. So if I call GPTel inline or follow or whatever and start cycling, you'll see that it's picks paragraph, plain list, section. That's the heading that's the org entry without the heading, or headline, which is the org entry with the heading, and then window and buffer. So in org mode, you can cycle through things in a more granular way. Well, as granular as you want, because you can add to this. Yeah. And of course, you don't have to do any of this, because if you know beforehand what you want to send exactly, you can just select the region.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, I got a little bit like for a few seconds paralysis analysis. I'm like thinking, you keep talking about the name change, and now I'm like trying to find like what would be the good good name for it.
I mean,
This is
it's okay. I couldn't think of one, so then I asked an LLM. So yeah, rubber ducking. No, yes. So it gave me a bunch of suggestions, and then I didn't like any of them.
yeah.
And then so this is a GPTel conversation where essentially I asked, like, what should the name be called? Anyway, I think I'm going to go with GPTel inline. So like I said, there are two things stopping me from publishing it right away. One is the bug that the dynamic behavior bug that I know will be issues 1, 2, and 3 on the repo. Like users will immediately run into it and say, "Oh, this doesn't work," and then I'll be like, "Yeah, I know. I just can't be bothered to fix it." This second reason is I don't know if this should be a standalone package or if I should just add it to GPTel as an extension.
I personally don't care. I'll find some time and steal it from your config.
Well, okay. It's a proper package. Like it's got all the things. It's got the package requires and the package commentary and it says provide, right?
Yeah, I
So
can probably you can probably consume it directly from your.
so you can consume it directly. You probably want to get rid of these local variables block, which is specific to my config right now. But yeah.
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 Well, I can't wait. I mean, like it's probably end up being a built-in GPTel feature, and probably like some people will be finding it 3 years from now, and they will be like, "Whoa, I didn't know like you could do that."
Like, yeah, yes. Yeah, this is I think the last 3 months of using GPTel. I got really annoyed with the workflow. There's the standard workflow where I mean, okay, so today you can imitate this workflow just with a little less pizzazz, like this. So let's go back to setup Embark and get rid of that. And okay, I can do something like this. I can bring up GPTel menu, right, and say prompt from the mini buffer, okay, and respond in the GPTel session, and I can pick test, right? And if I want, I can also save or set these options, so I don't have to do this select this and this every time I bring up the menu. Wait, did it set? Okay, and now I can say I can send it, and I send it. It says ask. Okay, I can say and what does this block of code do? Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm going to have to redo that. Anyway, this time it remembered mini buffer and this, and I can say this. Okay, so now when you prompt from the mini buffer, if you have a region selected, that's actually appended to your request. You can, if you want, ignore the selection, but I'm going to include it and say, and how about this one? And how does it differ from the other Embark groups? Right. So you'll see that it's doing effectively the same thing, right? It continued the conversation in the test GPTel buffer, right? And with the context of everything about this, like all the previous Embark config blocks that I had asked it about. Yeah, and then it's giving me a comparison that tells you that it had the context of the previous questions. So this is effectively the same thing, right? The input is the same. It's like you selected something and then you sent a request, redirected the request to the GPTel buffer of your choice, in this case, test. But then the input is the same, but the output is not the same. So the output in this case was that GPTel automatically switched to this buffer, and then it places the request here. So this GPTel inline package extension, whatever you want to call it, just goes further and makes it so that you don't have to visit the buffer at all, and you get the output, the latest output, in an overlay, like right where you are.
Nice.
Yeah. So the reason I haven't added it to GPTel, or I'm undecided, is because I mean functionality that is very similar to this already exists. It's just about these two transient flags. So I don't know.
Okay, that's fair, but I love what I saw.
And I think customize.
The UI UX is pretty amazing.
Sorry, David, I couldn't hear you. Your volume is too low.
Oh, sorry. The UX is amazing.
Yeah. It's
nice.
Of
this package.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. My first thought was to use a pause frame, but then I tested it and like immediately I was annoyed that it's hiding half the buffer, so I did it with overlays. In fact, in here, I have it to do for an alternative UI in the pause frame that I will not be implementing because I ended up liking the overlays. Yeah, so there aren't many customizations. That's just this is just this is just how this thing is displayed. In this case, it's displayed below the buffer with a height of 1/3 of the frame or something. And then this is the default chat buffer. If all the functions in the hook that run to find an appropriate chat buffer to use, if they all fail, then it falls back to a default chat buffer called GPTel follow. And then this is the hook. This is this list of functions it runs to try to find an appropriate buffer to continue a conversation in. These are the targets, which you don't have to use. You can just select the region, but if you want, you can use these targets. And then this is the default overlay height. And yeah, that's it.
That's really impressive.
Thanks. Yeah.
Ag said that he's just stepped away for a minute.
Oh, I see. Yeah. This is kind of how I want to use any LLM coding agent, because I don't like the CLI first or agent shell first workflow, where you open the thing and then you type there. And I like to move around in my editor. I like from like file to file when coding, looking at things, and I want it to be accessible from anywhere.
All right. Sorry, I needed to step away from my keyboard. What else can we talk about?
Actually, recently migrated from everything as a file org roam to a single monolithic org file. Actually, everything is in a single file. So I wonder if anyone else is doing that, because I ran into some weird things on the way doing that all. Namely, first one is actually narrowing and finding the nodes, opening the nodes. So I had to advise org roam's node find function pretty heavily. And to make that work with bookmarks is just another story. Actually, it's a patch hell, in short. So I think not many people are doing that, but I find that very intuitive.
Sorry, did you mean to say that after you migrated to one large file, you had issues working with org roam, or before?
Yeah, no, not before. Before, I actually don't like everything as a file, because it simply breaks all the assumptions of built-in org tooling. Namely, org agenda, for example, you have to populate the agenda's file list to actually not to make Emacs cry. And to do that meaningfully, you have to actively fetch from org roam's database which nodes actually have a to-do or any kind of a toggle to-do state in org and active. So in my case, it turns out to be 80 files. So I pay the agenda population tax each time 10 minutes. I did that with org roam. So, and the things like Vulpia came out and they kind of tried to patch the problem, but I actually didn't like it. So I kind of turned back to org, a single org file, and org roam v2 actually got reworked to work, take a node concept as an outline. So I can just pop an outline, do a control return, for example, and org roam would actually recognize that as a node. Not exactly like that. Of course, I would have to capture it through org roam system and just let it generate a UUID for that. But that's the gist. So I have everything on a single file, and everything is everything that I separate as a file is now on a single level.
And you tangle your config from org files, right?
I actually don't do that. I might, but it's just bothersome for me.
I got confused. I thought like you're tangling your because I don't do I do other things. I tangle all my dot files except my Emacs config from.
I, of course, might tangle too. I mean, that's not much hard to implement. It's just that you have to filter more to get what you want to tangle. But yeah, I think this is not what many people are doing. So you just wanted to put that out. That's it.
All right.
I ran into issues with that a while ago. I guess the way that I solved it was to use the order of dailies, like the daily notes. I kind of picked like the top three. And then like whenever I start a new Emacs server, those go to the top of the org agenda. And if I find myself working on a project, then I'll manually add it. But I work in a lot of different projects, so it's kind of hard for me to keep track of org agenda.
Yeah, I kind of after I started using org roam, I stopped using org agenda because the everything like any tag, the concept of any tag or concept of to do item or done, it just become a link to a certain category. It's just a node in my org roam database. And if I need to find anything that is to do, I couldn't name the heading to do because to do is a special keyword for in org mode. So I had to name it differently. I named it unread, and I added an alias so I could search for by to searching to do, and that just worked. And I don't use agenda anymore, but I probably it's just because my workflow doesn't stay around like certain dates. I don't typically go. It's the calendar integration is another thing that's been sitting in my bucket, but I don't need like very complicated. I don't have the complex calendaring kind of workflows. Something that I need to get into. But
That does remind me something actually. Uh, so the thing is, since org-roam treats everything like a file, like a file, to do is a special state for the outline, right, in org mode.
Mhm.
So to actually replicate that behavior, you cannot actually toggle a to-do tag for the actual file because the heading of the file, the way org-roam actually fetches it, it's the properties, title, and that kind of special tags. So to replicate that exact behavior, you actually have to add a tag, add to do as a tag, not as the special or keyword. It's different things. So another thing org does in that to-do state tracking is it tracks state if you want. So if you update some heading sub outlines, the main outline, the outer outline actually gets updated, and the outer outline, I don't know how much
get
mess
like
they get updated. Yeah, they get
you get a
updated.
drawer with the
So
status
the
changes.
problem is when you interlink nodes in org-roam, how do you keep track of state? That's one. I mean, if you have relative, you can actually semantically nest quote unquote concepts and or tasks and assign them a to do, but they're cross-file. They're not actually communicating. And another thing is, for example, marking a to-do state as completed if all the subtasks are completed, which I do a lot. And to do that, you actually have to do the amazing trick of automatically updating the file tags by parsing the file, and that just opens up just not pleasant to work. I mean, at that point, you're just replicating org tooling. It wasn't just worth it. So that's what org-roam v2 did, and it's essentially what it is now is just a great backlinking engine. It's a great one, like really good.
Yeah.
That's why I use it.
Well, I did something in the past. Again, I stopped using it in a way that I used to. Can you still? Yeah, I can. Stop sending. Show my screen anyway. So, let me go bigger. So in my, let me see. Like here's my to-do, right?
Can you go a little bigger?
Of course.
One more font size, please. Yeah, I'm on a 13-inch screen, and yeah.
Okay. So you see, I have unread, and I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't. It's showing this. It's actually 56, 56 related, like the backlinks on this one, but the numbers are because there's. I never fixed that because it's like they're shown in superscript. It shows like this, but so you see, it collides. I have this. It collides with this thing in progress, and this thing in progress is just an ID for in progress things. So if I if I have a to do on an item, so I would basically I would have something like, oh, this is Markdown mode if I'm in org mode. So if I have something like blah 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 blah, and I have to do. I used to. I stopped. I need to find that function. So basically, if I want to switch to in progress, because here's my previous buffer, because it would be clashing with in progress. So in progress, I forgot what was the in progress.
That's org Edna, right? The collides with tag.
Yeah, like
keyboard.
yeah, you would do Control T, but I think I need to put this back. So like previously, if I try to put like in progress here, it would remove to do automatically because they're clashing. Like you cannot be in like to do and in progress at the same time.
So you use org Edna as a state tracker. Okay, that's yeah.
Yeah, like everything in org Rome becomes like, so if I need to find anything in progress, I can just find the backlinks of what is, like I still have some stuff in November, so it's still in progress.
Actually didn't use org Edna in triggering cascade of tagging or any kind of further automated action rather than just creating a task dependency graph essentially.
Yeah, maybe my workflows are not complicated enough yet.
Can you actually
thought about
just evaluate Lisp with org Edna? I mean that should be possible, right?
Or
if this happens, then
org
just
agenda,
evaluate this.
or you
no, org Edna.
Edna. Oh, Edna.
Yeah.
I never heard about this thing. I don't,
actually?
No, I never.
Well, oh, okay.
Org Edna.
Where's that collides with keyword is coming from? Is it org's native?
No, it's just the way how I did it. So basically,
No, I get it. That's not it. There was a collides with keyword, right?
Yeah,
collides
it's just
it's internal to org.
No, this is my total it's the customization I like end up having.
Okay,
so,
I get it. Okay.
So it would check.
I thought something was providing that.
No, it's somewhere in my config. Collides. Oh, did I remove it? I might have removed this because when I switched to, I probably removed this when I switched to Vulpia from Orgrom, and I kind of like try to clean up the older stuff, and I probably removed that and haven't gotten it back because I don't remember actual implementation, but I probably removed it. But I have to rethink this. But you brought like interesting points about using Orgrom and Edna is a new thing. I never heard about it.
It's about actually creating a dependency of things, a dependency graph of tasks, of outlines.
Yeah, it might be overkill for what I typically do, but who knows?
I think it's an overkill for a lot of things, but it's essentially like just a scripting engine.
Yeah. Well, what I like about Emacs world, that there are tons of ideas you can cherry pick from, right? Like it doesn't have to be like necessarily specific package. You don't have to like rely on, oh, there's a plugin and I'm just going to install it and I'm just going to use it and this is done this way. You can get like certain ideas and say like, oh, and these days it's especially becoming easier to implement things. So like, I'll show you the very recent thing I did on my config. So I used to use Corfu. I still use Corfu. I mean, like it's just disabled. No, I want to enable Corfu and my Corfu auto. So if you know Corfu has Corfu auto. If it's set to T, it should. Let me see. Disable the completion. So before I would when I type. Oh, I don't see completions. It's something like this comes up, right? And I see this like some completions. This is Corfu, right? And it would like pop up like this.
I've seen display line numbers in Corfu. That kind of strikes me odd.
No, this is not display numbers. So I'll get to that. So when I like type, it used to show up like this, right? Like it would be a pop-up like with the suggestions, etc. And I would be like, oh, like I want the 6 one, and I would like press meta 6, and it just like picks the completes with that thing, right? But then in Emacs 30, I believe completion preview mode was added. So completion preview mode, what it does, it shows you this. You see? But it doesn't show you what's in the bottom. It just shows you this, and you can cycle through this. Oh, like let me now. They're competing. So
how did you get it to complete with the word sims?
I'm sorry.
I'll ask in a second. Sorry.
I think he's asking about how do you make it complete words.
Oh, no, the word sims, like it was completing the prefix to type. So when you typed
Oh, with the
when I
numbers.
typed,
So yeah, like the Corfu has I think Corfu has Corfu indexed. It's called indexed. Yeah, like Corfu insert indexed. Oh, I just added this, right? So this is, it just picks the whatever, and that was before the completion preview. Now with completion preview mode, I have this, but I won't, like, so you can cycle through them, right? But here's the thing: you don't see this part by default. There's no display like this. So I had to add this, and this was fairly straightforward. So now I still can do meta like 4, and it completes with that. So that part is basically completion preview. Yeah, here. So I have like, there's some sort functions because I wanted to sort them like specifically how like the candidates come up, and some where was it? Completion preview message format, completion preview sort minimum. I have some advising. Oh yes. So there's the superscript part where I specifically wanted them to be to show like the numbers like this, like in superscripts in different phase with different propertized, and this is the function that does the echo. This is and this is the number of candidates. I think it could be easily could be the built-in feature of completion preview mode, because completion preview mode is built into Emacs now, so you can just enable it and it will show you the completion previews like this. And
I didn't know this was useful actually.
yeah, it was added. Let's see, it was added. Buffer completion preview.
It was added in Emacs 30.
Yeah, it was in 30, and
But
yeah, I shall.
yeah. Sorry, I had to step out for a bit. So I was wondering, is the thing you added the line of suggestions at the bottom?
The echo
Yeah,
part?
in the echo area.
Yeah.
And how do you select one of them?
You can either cycle. See, it cycles through and it goes to the next page. And if there's more, you just cycle through. Or I set it, I only have 5. And so because I use only my left hand for that, and I do meta 2, and it just picks up that one. So that's how I did it.
Is the cycling part of completion preview, or did you add that too?
The cycling is built into completion preview.
I feel like I'm learning so many words right now.
Sorry, come again?
I'm just learning a lot of interesting words.
Yeah, the completion preview mode is there. The cycling with the completion.
So, what is the command to cycle the completions in completion preview?
This one.
And is that bound to anything by default in completion preview mode?
Interesting question. Let's find out. Completion preview.
You can use various, right?
Yeah. Completion preview mode. Let's see if we have any maps. Map. Completion preview active mode. Preview insert complete. Yeah, I don't know why they are commented out, but I guess this is MNP. Meta and
Are you on Emacs master or on?
This is master. This is 31. You see, I'm on 31.
Yeah, I think these things may have been maybe new, because when I look at completion preview,
you're right. It's on. I'm pretty sure the completion preview itself was added on Emacs 30, and I'm not sure like what exact changes since then. But I mean, like, you know, I switched to Emacs 31 before I actually did this completion switch. And this is also like, you know, I showed this before. When I type, I typically, so if I have a typo, typo. I don't like stop to fix it. I bound to double comma. I bound my command, which is I use Jinx, and Jinx, unlike fly spell, unlike fly spell, Jinx doesn't have built-in autocorrect last thing. So this existed in my config for quite some time. It's probably not the best way to do this. I probably have to revisit this, but it worked. So the idea here, you can think of and like borrow from me that the modality is actually really helpful. So typically you would I would like type double tap comma and it tries to fix it, and I keep tapping comma, it cycles through different variants, right? And this is great. And if I'm not satisfied with any variants, I do Control U and comma, double tap comma, and then I can just select whatever I like. And if I actually need to insert comma, which I would do anyway, I bound it to comma and space, and it does that. And also, similarly, I have a double square bracket bound on insert link. So in org mode and Markdown, well, I don't have any links here. Let's see. But if it's org mode, double tap on it, tries to like link to certain, it just inserts the link for me. And if I actually need a square bracket, again, square bracket plus space, but now because I have smart parents, it just balance them automatically. So the grand idea is the modality works and you can use it. So like the same way I use in vertical here, I use semicolon to do vertical stuff. And if I actually need to insert semicolon in mini buffer, which happens very rarely, I would do Control Q for literal symbol, right? And I can insert semicolon. But if I just press semicolon and if I press it twice, you can see it just briefly makes extends the mini buffer to be taller. I switched to 31, and this calculation of like how tall it should be kind of gotten, well, I have to recalculate it. I don't know why this is, but it usually goes like all the way up there. And I can do stuff like, oh, if it's bothering me, I can just flatten it. So it's very quick for me. Semicolon F, and like it's not bothering me. And if I do semicolon MB, it goes to the buffer. It uses the built-in vertical multiform. So anyway, this is a thing I did with the completion preview, and highly recommend it. It changed the way how I type. Now before I would like get something like this, and now it's popping up again. I don't know because I probably set Corfu auto to.
No, it's popping up again because you changed the major mode. So
maybe no Corfu mode disabled. So yeah, I probably can. Oh, another thing I can do here, I can transfer it. Oops, no, not this. Wrong. I can transfer it to the completion buffer, right? Like so, if I know there are multiple candidates and it's easier for me to just like select one from here. I can do this in Corfu. Corfu has on their, I believe in Wiki, it's called the function called Corfu move to mini buffer. Yes, this is not built into Corfu, but it's similarly I can probably remove this now since I'm not like using Corfu as I used to before, but it still works. So that's the completion preview, completion improvements I did on my config, and I will post the links. I'll share the links directly to my config. Another thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you cycle between the completions in completion preview? I mean, I know the command because you discovered it for me, but what key do you use?
Oh, I use the what's the key? What's it called?
It won't show up here because it's that key map is only on the completion preview overlay.
No, I use what's the hippie expand? What's the hippie expand binds to? Meta slash. right?
Oh, okay, that's what you use to cycle?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just convenient on my keyboard, because I don't press meta slash. I have a key specific for this thing. So, and I use it. It's like it's easier to reach than the tab. Tab is default to complete, and I don't. Yeah, meta n and meta p. You saw it. They're commented out, but you can set them.
Yeah.
Another thing I was thinking, so another thing, right? Like, so imagine I'm typing, right? I thought about it, but I kind of didn't go through with that because I saw kind of that might become problematic. So when I'm typing and this is a typo, I can do this, right? And it fixes. But imagine I did something, right? When I press space, when I press, like my completion key is also very close, right? When I do this and I immediately realize, oh, darn, this is not the completion that I wanted. I want a different variant. And there's no easy way to go and change it. And I thought, like, why can't I just do it on double comma? But you see how problematic it could be, because now it doesn't know, is it a typo or a wrong completion? Because, I mean, I can persist the state that I was in completion, right? And I just complete it. And if I immediately after that, I say like, no, this is not what I wanted. So it would be nice to have a way. So I haven't gotten there. So I probably...
Can't you just advise completion preview complete?
Yeah. No, and like just
it's add an undo boundary like right before it completes, so that you can just press undo and it will take you back to that state.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking the best way to, like, because you would be like typing, right? It's hard to demo that while I'm not actually typing something, like,
okay, let me change the question. If you select the wrong completion, right, and you press undo right now, what happens? You press tab and then undo.
Well, the way my undo works, it goes by characters, right? So, like I said, I haven't like there's a room for improvement here. So another thing I did for a long time that most of you probably doing that already, things like this gets fixed automatically because I have finally have my abrev tables and abrev mode, and I don't have to worry about saying typing ain't, which is not that, or can I do no was it ain't isn't, right? You see it just fixes it automatically, but that's abrev mode. So yeah, that's the completion. Now I also have a different thing I wanted to show you. So for that, I'm gonna need a Markdown document. Let me find something. I can probably find.
Can you share the code that you used to show the completion preview completions in the echo area?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all in my...
So I want to try turning off Corfu and trying completion preview, because I had the wrong idea about this package. I thought there was no way to see more than one completion. Yeah.
I'm sharing the exact link to the file on GitHub. Let me make sure my stuff is pushed. Well, like this stuff been pushed a while ago. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, but this is very experimental. I've been playing with this. So I've been increasingly working a lot, dealing with a lot of Markdown documents, which is a usual case for most of us. The problem with Markdown, certain things work, right? iMenu works, but I prefer org mode, because org mode has tons of interesting things like sparse trees, right? I would love to have sparse trees especially when Markdown documents become huge, right? And there's no the cycling also is different. So check this out. So imagine if you have a Markdown document, but then you decide that you want to look into the document as in org mode, and you can just do that, right? And imagine you can even change certain things in your org mode document, and then you go back and it actually puts it into Markdown. So I've been playing with this thing. Apparently it doesn't work. Like editing is kind of turns out tricky because I'll go into code and I'll get into more details. This turned out like my idea was, why can't I just look at the piece of Markdown and seamlessly just do it in org mode, right? Deal with this piece. And why can't I just edit things, blah, 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 in org mode, right? And like press Control C, and it goes to the document like this. But then I found that it does like weird things because you have to structurally diff two different things, and that turned out to be really, really hard problem. And I am still working on it, but it's I have a good start, but it's highly experimental. It's a package I called Prisma, and I'm hoping to add also the JSON and Eden, but that probably just for my my personal kind of use. But yeah, this is out. I just made it public, and yeah, this is how it works. It basically that tracks the ASD. It requires the tree sitter. Well, like the tree sitter that works. I'm not even sure that if it works in older Emacs before 29.
I have many questions.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you can continue. I just this is very interesting. But
This
yeah,
is interesting, but this is highly experimental, and yeah, even though I had to write the spec, yes, I did use LLMs to work with that because the problem space is, but it was still with I went through the pegs, and I and I tried to like I said, I was trying to do also at the same time to do this similar thing for JSON and Eden. And my idea also was like, if I can extend it to YAML, imagine like looking at YAML and saying like, no, I don't want to look at YAML. I understand that this is contextually it's YAML, but I want to look at it as its org mode, change it in org mode, and like seamlessly translate that to YAML. And that turned out to be like, well, because specifics of like, so there's the spec there. There's some strategy. I try to like, like it's for testing strategy because I needed to figure out like a testing strategy for this because I had a lot of issues with, like, for example, the tables, right? The tables or source code, like, this one, more or less, okay. But if you pick up a table, for example, it would not, initially, it would not do it like right. You see, this is like, where's my org align? I mean, of course, I can run org align here, but are we guaranteed no comment, right? If I do this, you see what it did? It kind of, I mean, like, it did what I expected, like, what I wanted it to do, because this is like proper Markdown mode. But now, and it changed the right place. But that was like super tricky to get right, especially with I needed like proper testing, etc. So yeah, hopefully I will work on this some more and I start using it. Last time I tried to show it it was broken because I had to deal with the tree sitter syntax elements. I didn't have them in my Emacs, but so
okay.
I imagine bounding it to the certain key, and it just, instead of calling the command, and it has nice the what's it called, header line, not header line, I forgot what's the proper name for this thing. So, and yeah, you can edit it as if it's org mode.
Okay. I have many questions because the spec for org mode is much richer than the spec for Markdown, right?
Yep.
Or JSON or Eden.
Yep.
JSON and Eden are very simple, I guess, even compared to Markdown, just the number of things.
Well, I believe org mode doesn't have the robust spec, like, or standardized spec. Is that right? There's no like, it's all
Yes,
like,
there is the org syntax document on org.org. That's the closest we have to an org spec. But if you just look at the number of syntax elements,
yeah.
it is much richer than Markdown, and these are just the static ones. So we are not yet accounting for all the dynamic behavior that org can have. Dynamic in two different ways. One is extensible in the sense that you can add custom org lane types, right? Things like that. And then also extensible on a per document per heading level, where you can add new to-do keywords just for that document, or even just for like a subheading using properties. So I'm assuming that you're targeting like some base subset of org with the most common
Yeah,
features.
I'm honestly, I'm like, I haven't tested it to the, like, I don't know, like, if okay, I have work mode, right? But what if I start adding things that, I don't know, the things with,
So simple example. What if you have org properties and you
yes,
convert to
that's what
Markdown and
like,
back?
I'm trying to add org ID. Why is it not adding org ID go to? No, like, oh, what was it? Org ID create, get create. Yeah. So if I try to save that, what happens? Let's
Well,
see.
what should happen?
Well, yeah, like, here's the yeah, like, it raises questions. What should happen? So in this
That's
case, it
what
just,
Pandoc does.
huh?
It chooses for you. That's what Pandoc does.
Yeah, Pandoc does that, but Pandoc is non-trivial to do the same trick with like actual documents. It does a lot of things, like it adds property drawers for things that you don't want them to be property drawers. It's really hard to configure. Like, you have to create like yeah, I started with Pandoc actually. I tried to use Pandoc for this thing, and it's like, there are reasons why I just couldn't use Pandoc. And
So I'll be optimistic about Pandoc, and I'll say perhaps you can pass config, a configuration, a state of configuration, to Pandoc with classic Unix.
no. You have to understand this. The problem is not the conversion itself. The problem is the diffing at the end, because you have like two different, like, the structural elements. So like, my problem is like not the conversion itself. Like, yeah, sure, we could figure out like how to do this right with, but once you start like typing here, and then you want to try to convert that back, how do you ensure that only the parts that changed in the structure of the, because the structure of this document, even though it's similar to the structure of the other document, the original document, once they change the like, that is the hard part. You understand? So like, if you have like, if you say like, oh, I want to look at this document as in org mode document. I have all the things that org mode provides, but I want to make like two changes over here and over here, right? And then you do Control C, it went in, and you diff. You see what happened? This is not like really, I wanted this, but I didn't want, and I wanted this, but what is this? Why this changed? What is like, why? You see, they're like, it's a lot tricky when you like, think of, it's in real kind of battleground situations. It gets like very difficult to deal with.
I see, I understand, but the problem is it's a road that you must choose. I think here, I just cannot put it into a concrete argument, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Uh, I don't
Yeah,
think there's actually any way to structurally preserve like fully correctly, properly preserve by actually doing anything at all. I mean, you just these are two different formats, and
Yep.
conversion
Yep.
in any cases, it just cannot be fully lossless if you're aiming for more than a simple string substitution.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I come with naive thinking that why can I make it so it's like round tripping and it's not lossy, it's lossless. But I mean, it may just remain just experimental, and it never will work
Oh,
like
okay.
fully. But for small cases like this, like, you know, oh, I don't want to look. I mean, like, the at least the looking at the document part, if you use it as read-only mode, sure, it's already. I mean, like, I'm
So
looking at the
you
document.
do this to get the navigational properties of org,
Yeah, you get sparse
but
trees,
you
right?
actually design this for simple use cases in editing.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, I
I
get it.
mean, like, initially I wanted this, right? Like, I want to look
Mhm.
at the Markdown document as org mode document, and that's all. This case is kind of simple enough. But then you start looking at it, like, now I want to change this part, right? And then, okay, we could probably change just this part and make sure that nothing else in the, like so we can figure out, like, so you see how hard that, like, difficult this problem is, because you have to structurally understand you have to get the AST of the document.
Of course, and you have to make choices.
You have to, like, yeah, and you have to, like, there are tons of choices to make, like, do I do this, do I add this? So the, like, after editing part is, and then reconciling with the original document is a really hard problem, and it may not, like, you know, realistically it may not get solved anytime soon, but at least I started with something. Yes.
Yeah, so I understand that this is a situation where there is definitionally no perfect solution. But I do think you can get to a state where you are pretty happy with the results, even though it's not perfect. But I was curious about the implementation. So how is tree sitter factoring into this?
There are tons of, like, you know, this is all, like, you understand, this is all LLM, right? This is, I didn't
Yes,
type this,
it's
and
very
I've done through different, like, stages. It's been a while. It's been sitting in my bucket, and I would come back and try some more things. So and basically, yeah, like, go through this document to see if it makes sense. I actually try to pull, like, some papers also to analyze them and see if we could, but that I don't know. I probably opened, like, a rabbit hole of things, but
Okay, to use this in Markdown documents, do you need to have Markdown TS mode enabled or available?
Yeah, I just fixed a bug that last time was, no, that this is, and it installs this.
Yeah, so it needs the Markdown tree sitter grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, that gives me some idea of how this works. And then JSON and Eden are easy to parse anyway, so you don't
Yeah.
need.
I'll share the link to this project as well. Yeah, it's, I just, like, flipped it public. The one thing I want to do, I just so in my config, I have, whenever I want to, like, I often, because I'm dealing with Markdown, I have this. So if I do Control U, you see it says yanked Markdown as org, and
Yeah.
this in my config. Let's see the way how it works. Yank org. Yeah. So the way how it works, I have this function that is a starting point that is, you see the suffix a is an advising function, and it just, because I use evil. So this is what it does, right? And then it says, like, oh, if I'm on Markdown, I'm gonna use this. And what it does, it actually calls Pandog, which works. But I just realized I don't have to do this. I have to flip this, because I need to copy, I need to yank it as is, right? Without, like, converting it. And when I'm pasting it, I should be making a decision. If I'm pasting into org mode, it will convert to org mode and paste. And then if I actually need to insert as a markdown, I can use the argument thing. So I've had this for quite a while, and it's been working, but I think I can just do it seamlessly. I don't have to think if I'm on Markdown or if I'm org mode. And I probably reuse the same facilities I have in Prisma already, because they work better. Like I see the conversion between Markdown and org. At least it happens better than I could figure out with Pandog. But Pandog it's amazing. Like, you know, but you have to do sometimes like stuff like this, right? And or yeah, Pandog is another beast that you have to think.
If you actually do string substitution like that in Pandoc, yeah, I think something is going very wrong there. I mean, you have to be able to configure those kind of things.
Yeah,
that looks messy.
Yeah, I agree. But the Pandog, I'm not bashing on Pandog, but I think if I have the evil eLisp native solution, maybe I could use that, and I'll keep testing this. And
So funny you should mention that. About a week ago, there was on our Emacs, there was a guy posting about a package commonmark-gfm.el.
I saw that, but I haven't checked it out yet. I saw the post.
He says that it provides an AST for block and inline nodes.
Okay.
So that could be something to take a look at.
Yep. Yeah. It's been I thought about this. Well, I think that's all that I can think of to show you. I don't think. Oh well, like I said, I did some improvements on this thing, so we can do stuff like this is just the find file dialog, right? And I can go and find like here's Prisma. We can see the branches. We can see if there's PRs or issues. We can just explore it without cloning, right? So I made like some fixes. Now Embark understands, it has categories. So if I do something, if I do something, yeah, like this, and say like, oh, what is this? Oh, it knows that this is a repo. It says convert, but that's the which key bug. It's to clone, and I can clone it. Oh, this is wrong, or I want to clone it.
So Ag,
Yeah.
So a while ago, I tried Remoto.
Yeah, I saw your issue you posted, but I think I fixed that. I saw that bug, but I fixed it right at the time when you posted it. So
I updated and tried it just now. I still have the bug. So are you on Mac?
I am on Mac.
I wonder. So I've tried it on two Linux machines, and
all right, let me. It's a good point. Let me actually test it.
So I can share my screen and show it to you live.
Okay, we can try to debug it this way.
Okay.
I also added to the package because I wanted to test things out. I added where was it? This sandbox. Yeah, sandbox. I needed to on the vanilla Emacs with well, like at least on Mac it works, but have I tried it on Linux? I don't know. I need to.
So can I try it now?
Of course, I'm gonna stop sharing. You can take the
Yeah.
share and let's see.
Okay, I'm sharing and I'm increasing the font size. Okay, maybe that's big enough.
Yep.
Okay, so and let's check. So is this the latest?
Wait. Hold on.
So yeah, June 30th. Okay.
Yeah, it is latest.
Okay. So let me load Remoto topic, and I'll just load this too, and Remoto browse. Okay. Yeah, and if I try to open like one of these files, it works fine. Right? So it's loading. The problem is with directories. So the first thing I noticed is that the attributes are kind of weird, but that's okay. It's a fuse file system or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's not like real file system.
Yeah, it's just file handlers for Tramp. So, but let me try to open this directory and let me turn on debug on error. I get this error.
Oh. Direct get file, direct what? Let's see. You went to, all right, let me see. The same, and you did Doom, and you opened it, and no, I went to the directory directly. Hold on, let me do it again. Doom. Okay, I'm gonna open this. No. Doom. I'm gonna open it, and I go to directory. No, it works fine for me. Why?
So maybe I can turn off this and turn off debug and step through it with edebug. Did it get file name? Oh, there it is. That's the, it's malformed. If you look at the result,
Huh? Why it
it's
works for
missing
me?
it's missing the final letter, right? Lisp, it should be /lisp.
Ah.
Let me quit and try it on this one. No, yeah, module. Yeah, it's missing the final letter.
Huh. All right. I'll take a look into this and try to
I
fix
can
it.
probably fix it right now if
Yeah, I'm not sure. Debug.
because it's will be in the file name handler, right? Handle file exists, regular, readable, writable directory files. Actually, it was calling direct get file name, which maybe I can debug that and try.
Direct get file name, and direct get file name is a function.
File. Yeah, so by this point it's already wrong. The result is module instead of modules. So buffer substring p1, p2. Let's try again, and let's get here 806 and 812. 812. Yeah, it's one less. Okay. So it's already wrong. So delete move to end of file name is giving the wrong.
Yeah.
Is giving the wrong. Okay, so let's try it again. 806. Yeah, 812. That's wrong. So let's go to delete move to end of file name. Okay. Next single property change. Okay. Yep. Oh wow, this is such an odd error. So it's nothing to do with your file handler. It's some issue with the combination of direct and your library. Yeah, it should be 813.
See,
So let me check
I might try to
direct directory. Oh, direct. Okay, let's try one more time.
I'm gonna try testing it as sandbox. Let's see if it's my
Direct file name. Okay. 6. Huh. Single change. Name 812. That is wrong. Okay, I'm curious now if nope.
So it had a font overlay through 814.
Yeah, that's just the. You mean this? This is just the HL line, like the line highlight. So if I turn off line highlighting, that overlay should be gone.
Okay.
I don't know what this thing is specifically is Remoto. I don't know your GitHub thing. So
Yeah, so
I think I ran into the same issue in a remote tramp buffer. Exact issue actually.
Oh,
But I didn't think about it. I really didn't. I
okay.
didn't spend enough time.
Remoto is a package written by AG that does GitHub repo access as files using a tramp handler or tramp backend, whatever it's called. So this is tramp.
Well,
And
like
I assume
it's technically it's not
that's
tramp
used.
backend. I couldn't. It's doing the tramp is kind of overkill for this thing.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it's just a file name handler.
Yes,
Like file handler collection. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like Emacs's version of a Fuse file system. That's kind of what it's doing.
Okay, that doesn't really anchor correctly, but
yeah,
I think I had this issue on. I mean, I try a lot of Unix systems, so for example, actually, if I can get it replicating, second.
So I wonder if I try it now. No, it still doesn't work.
Yeah, it might be Linux related. I'm gonna see how it works on Linux because I just tried on Sandbox with vanilla Emacs and it works. It's not something that it's in my config.
Oh, okay. I can try. Oh, I have to install the package.
No, you can go to the if you have if you clone it, the make has make sandbox. If you like, yeah, from here. Oh, you cloned it already. So like, yeah, you can run make sandbox and it just runs the sandbox version with Embark installed.
Yeah, one sec. I'm trying it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, OpenBSD doesn't even want to list any files right now, so I cannot replicate this.
So it's make sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, note up. It's going to try. It's going to fail GitHub authentication.
Why?
That's okay. I can probably paste in the.
No, like, do you have them in? Oh, yeah. I haven't thought about that because mine is in auth.info.
Yeah, mine is more involved. So wait, what do I need to do to provide a token manually? Oh, you have to use outsource.
Wait,
Okay.
but why do you need auth for? Oh,
I actually got a completely different error trying to replicate this, and I'm very puzzled right now. It doesn't work at all. So.
Okay, I turned on like auth lookup, and now let's see how it works.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure what that is.
Oh no, it says file no longer exists. So I guess you can't go up with dot dot, but that's fine. Yeah, so I guess it's a direct extension. That's the issue.
Do you have like something that's being advised? I wonder while you
I think it's a package, and I can try turning off all my direct minor modes. So that one's not turned on. Let's do direct. Let's go to on. What?
Format information line mode. I search file name mode.
Direct subtree. So I suspect direct subtree.
I think I use direct subtree, and I use subtree. It shouldn't be a problem. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. What error are you getting?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we share screens concurrently? Is that possible without?
It's okay. I'm trying to figure this out here. I'll duck out for a moment and you can.
Yeah. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you increase your font size by about 8 sizes?
Okay.
Bigger, much bigger. Sorry.
No problems.
A couple more font sizes.
It's okay.
One more. Yeah. Okay.
So OpenBSD instance. It's a remote VM. I'm actually SSH hopping to the VM. So I don't think that actually proves something, but it probably doesn't affect something. So ls works. It's calling the native Emacs thing. So it's not calling this the remote system binary. If I want to call it remote system binary, it's OpenBSD's ls. So okay, yeah, it doesn't just doesn't work. But for example, if I want to go to my etc file, it's okay.
So this is just Trump, right?
Yeah.
This is used Trump. Remoto doesn't use Trump. Remoto is specifically not Trump because it's not a Trump backend, because Trump fundamentally it's basically shell over transport, the Trump, every Trump backend, it assumes a remote shell on the other end. Remoto does not have anything like that, and it just adds Emacs has a file name handler A-list. It's a mechanism that Trump uses, but it basically registering the directly like the integration you want with the read or find file completion. You can just hijack that list, and basically this is, I'm pretending that the remote GitHub repository is a thing that I can like traverse like a file system, but it's not. It's specifically not Tramp. Tramp has like tons of things like connection management. I like my idea was initially I was like,
yeah,
I want to
I don't get one thing. I mean, doesn't Tramp just do shell? I mean, how else do you
it does, but
does
it does a remote shell on the other end. Like there's no remote shell for me on GitHub. Remoto has no remote shell. It just like
how can you fetch from GitHub without a remote shell? Do you use APIs or?
Oh no.
Yeah,
So if you look at Remoto, there are handlers, file name handlers for direct specifically written by AG. So
no, I get that. I just don't get the part where you actually fetch data from GitHub at all. I mean, without shelling. So I actually implicitly thought and placed Tramp there.
Yeah, you can fetch data from GitHub using the API, right?
Yeah,
so
that's what it does.
It's API. Okay,
yeah.
I get it. That also explains why .git wasn't available. Okay. So it's not
it's using the GHub Emacs package, I think.
Right, it does.
Right there?
So there's another question. Somebody asked me like when I posted.
Sorry, does that mean you do GraphQL requests?
I believe yes.
GitHub does GraphQL requests, I guess. It provides some interface overlap for you.
Yeah, and somebody asked me like, why can you just use plain HTTP, right? So Git has its own protocols and lets you talk to remote repo without cloning it. Why couldn't I just use it? And there are like multiple answers here because of tree listing. There's no raw like HTTP URL that I can say like, hey, give me the list of your directories or a list of your files, right? And you have to like do something like git ls-tree blah blah blah, and it just like creates like it's more complex. Then repo search, there's no like search through the repo. There's currently just fetches the entire tree in one API call. Yes, it's sometimes it is GraphQL call. Doing the same shit over the Git has the Git pack protocol. We have like, but it has like tons of complexity. It's like negotiating a fetch, receiving like some like what is it, pack file, etc., etc. It's just it's not worth it. I mean, like it's more complex. And Tramp also kind of initially I was thinking this is a Tramp backend. Turns out like I don't need the Tramp backend. All right, Karthik, let me know what it ends up being problematic. I may have to.
No, I can figure it out at this point because I have a working and a non-working example. So
okay,
I can just bisect my way to the answer.
There's another thing I need to fix. So I need to disable LSP mode or eggload, because when you open a file, it thinks, oh, like I have, I don't know, Rust, Clojure, or Go, Ruby, I want to enable. Do you want like LSP? LSP makes no sense in this case. So I have to like find a proper way to disable it or add
So
like
it's
something.
not just LSP, right? So the problem is you run when you open the file, you run the major mode hooks. And
Yeah, there are tons of other
anything can
things I have to
happen.
consider. That's right.
Yeah,
So
basically anything can happen. So what? I don't know how you can control it, because if for example you get a delete buffer, then the interaction with, like, when you press enter on one of those files, does it invoke your file handler?
I'm sorry, come again?
So you have a delete buffer, right, with some files from the repo, and you open one of them. When you do that, it runs your file handler, right? Okay, so then the safest thing you could do is to open the file with within the macro delay mode hooks, and that should take care of all that dynamic behavior that can cause problems.
Yeah. I need to think about these kind of smaller things, and maybe at least like document them or like provide hooks where we can say like like disable this on the
So
hook. Or...
if you think about a package like direct preview, that opens files all the time, or even a consult previews files, right? You don't have the problem with eglot going or LSP mode going wild when a preview is opened. But the preview is opening the file. It's not doing insert file contents. It is visiting. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, the major mode is being turned on in the preview because you have quantification and so on. So the way that consult and direct preview and basically every such package deals with it is to use delay mode hooks, the macro delay mode hooks, which just disables the major mode hooks temporarily.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it, I think.
All right.
Unless you want to add like specific exceptions for eglot LSP mode. I mean, that's like whack-a-mole. You'll be doing that all day.
Yeah. I mean, there are more than that. Another thing is well, like we need more than just GitHub. GitHub is nice, but I'd like to add like some other I don't know how it may change slightly the UI UX, like the find file dialog part would be fine, but there's also Remoto browse, right? And by default it does on GitHub, but then I have to think how, if you want to search, maybe I don't know, maybe I'll just the part of the find file dialog, this GitHub GH came later, and I probably should have done the same thing in Remoto browse. It might change, so like you may need to add like this prefix GH or GitHub or GL for GitLab or GitLab.
Is it possible right now to invoke your file handlers with the prefix, like the tramp style prefix with the slash in find file?
Oh, it's opening a Pandora box. This was like, so think about this. Every time you type a slash or a different like separator, right? It changes what it is, because at some like when you start typing, you type like GH, then colon, and it has to be colon, otherwise it will start thinking, oh, I'm looking for a directory called GitHub or GH on the root folder, right? So it has to be colon. So after the colon, now it's the category changes, right? Like I have to work. So then it becomes a remote, and then after remote becomes the org or user, and after that it's a file or a directory, and depending of like if you do hash append the hash then it tries to fetch pull requests and issues, and you can view them, right? So I had to change the design quite a bit because of these like small things. And at some point I was typing a lot of like doing like colon and slash after that, and I was like, oh, can I just take it as like this is not an issue, so it just like it still will open, but turns out it's I started getting like different bugs.
So I didn't understand so is that possible? Like you didn't
Possible what?
So okay, let me explain. I'll share my screen so it's easier to. Okay, so we are actually in this repo, but that's, oh boy. So I did Control X, Control F, and okay. So what I wanted to know was, open a new tab. If I start typing, right, is it possible to access Remoto this way? So what was it?
No, you have to start with the slash, right?
I am starting with the slash. I mean, okay, I can do that again and start from nothing. Okay. Right? So is this supposed to? Oh, it does work. Does it? Or
I'm not sure what you.
So I want to know if I can access like this repo directly from find file instead of calling Remoto browse.
Yes, that's the point.
Oh, okay. So is this how you do it? And then do I need to type main or?
No, you can complete it. That main is the only branch you have.
But,
and if you instead of add you put the hash there, it will try to find issues. But I don't have issues in this or pull requests. And if you do slash, it will just keep searching for files.
Oh wow! Okay, I completely misunderstood. Like, okay, now I get it.
So you see, every single time I have to like watch these separators, and every single time the separator it changes the category of what I'm looking at, and that's like the Embark also changes how it works because all these like things are embarkable. You can.
Oh, okay. Let me. No. Oh wow.
Yeah, you can copy the refs.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like very useful. I mean,
yeah,
very practical.
I thought the entry point was only Remoto browse.
No. Remote browse is just I started with that, but then I found like why can't I just do it?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
yeah, this is brilliant. Like I can bookmark this stuff too. Well,
yeah.
do I have to add a bookmark?
And you don't. I don't know if it like bookmarks will work because I don't use bookmarks myself. But and you don't have to type GitHub. You can do just GH, right? That also works. And I'm planning that.
Let's
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what happened. But why did that happen? When I type GH, oh, it's still asking. Oh, you know what happened? I think you're getting the rate limited.
Oh, okay. Because you're making a bunch of requests, right?
Yeah, but.
But I thought it was using my GitHub credentials already from my.
Right. That was in your other window when you were running the make sandbox, right?
No. So they both. Everything hits. Yeah, eventually everything hits my.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have to flesh out like tons of bugs. I started using it myself like only now because it kind of was not. It was like kind of gimmicky because it was nice, but it wasn't like proactively useful because without Embark, I mean, like, okay, I got the repo, but like I have the files, I can look at them, but can I clone it? Can I get a ref? Can I get a like all sorts of different? There are different link types, right? Like there's a can I get a GitHub blame link, etc., etc. Yeah, I need to figure out like all sorts of there are probably tons of different like smaller bugs that we need to flesh out, but
yeah.
Yeah, and you can look at those like if you open that it's.
So yeah, this is great for just searching because I can search annotations with ampersand. There we go. No, this isn't working. Okay, I was wondering if it's possible to have
search terms after that.
Well, no, not as part of Remoto. Like I'm not to give you more work. I'm just trying to figure out why I can't use like orderless to search for.
Consult. Because of the hash, huh? So you probably want to. I don't know. Let's see. If I start with the hash and then do, yeah, it doesn't work
Let's
that way.
search for tokens. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Okay, it's less useful when I have, like, there are 1,500 issues on this repo, and GitHub search sucks. I can never find an issue where something was mentioned, or even if I'm looking for something, some term in the text of the heading of the issue, even that fails sometimes.
Oh
So
yeah, the issues, it was added later. Yeah, I'll probably look into, because I need like some repos. That's a good repo to test it on. That's probably you're probably getting rate limited, because now it's sending tons of requests. It's trying to
Yeah.
fetch, and I don't think there's pagination in this caller. Or I just never had to deal with like tons of PRs and
Right,
issues. I like something to consider. Yeah, like searching at this point would be nice, right? Imagine like you just type like GH blah 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 Karthik blah blah blah, and you want to, like, you have, like, I know that you have tons of issues, but you want to find specific one and right there. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, I'll consider that. That should be
Cool.
nice to have. All right. Anything else we want to discuss or talk? I think we should wrap up. We've been talking for what is that? Over 2 hours.
If you're going to publish this, please make separate videos, because nobody watches 1 hour 20-minute videos.
Yeah. All right.
Like one
I
per
do.
topic, since we covered.
I do.
You do, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, people like I see the trendy thing these days is just to extract some shorts, but
No. I agree that's trendy, but everything you describe is more work for you, and you're doing a lot
it's
of
okay.
work
I'm gonna
already.
stop recording at
So,
this point, and we
yeah.
can
My
talking. All right. I'm
my
stopping
point
recording.
was